What's up everyone, OJ here. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo that just dropped recently on the PSN store. I actually got my hands on it fairly shortly after the demo was released and streamed it live on the channel. If you want to watch the full replay of me playing through the PS4 Pro version demo of Final Fantasy VII Remake, make sure you check out my channel. It's right there for you guys. A little bit over, I would say 40 minutes or so of actual in-game content, so it's pretty cool. But in this video, we're going to be going over a preview for Final Fantasy VII Remake. Visuals, graphics, music, gameplay, some gripes I have, and the hype level for it. So let's go ahead and jump right in, guys. And we're starting off with what everybody is saying with this game. Oh my gosh, the graphics are amazing. The visual presentation is absolutely stunning in Final Fantasy VII Remake. We have not seen a PlayStation 4 game up to this level in quite some time, and this is easily the best looking JRPG on any platform to this point. Now, you have to also remember that the scale of the game might be smaller than maybe Final Fantasy 15 in terms of total overall content, but just looking at the game itself, it absolutely looks phenomenal, and I was blown away by all of the little details and extra stuff added in of the visual presentation compared to what they did on the PS1. Obviously, there's multiple generations in between, so the game is going to look a lot better, but even just the smaller touches in terms of what they did, the dirt and grime on Cloud's shoulder pads, the details within Barrett's gun, the details on the hair and everything. This game has a dark but anime style gritty look to it, and it's absolutely amazing. One of the best things about the games, hands down. Now let's move on to the next thing here, guys, and that is music. So obviously Final Fantasy VII Remake, the music originally from the PS1 game, that was Nobuo Uematsu, one of the greatest composers of all time, did Chrono Trigger, multiple Final Fantasy games, multiple other RPGs, Square Enix games, and obviously this music remade is absolutely stunning. The ambience that it gives, the little chimes, just everything that happens, right? Even when you boot up the first title screen, the music is just there and it just permeates the mood. It never really feels dull. Anytime that you're going through the demo, the music changes dynamically in terms of what you want to hear when battles start, how you're going through the boss battle music. Everything is just done in an epic and spectacular scale that I just haven't seen before, right? When it comes down to the visual presentation combined with the music, it really is something special, and Square Enix has probably put in a ton of time and effort to get the music just right, to get the sound effects just right, syncing up with the visual presentation and the graphics. It's just something that just creates this overwhelming euphoria of nostalgic, but also new, right? It's not just, oh, that was the game that I played, oh, this is the music that's there. It really creates a fusion of something new, and I can really appreciate that about Final Fantasy VII Remake and the time that Square Enix took, the attention to detail within the visual presentation and the music combined. It really is something else. Now, let's move on to the most important thing here out of all of this, and that is gameplay. How does this game play? How does it feel to play? What potential does it have within a system that they built? And right now at this point, I didn't play the turn-based or more of the traditional battle that they have in there in terms of the battle system. I'm not sure if that's in the demo. I just played the new system that they have, and it's really good. I like what they've done here. It is a standard action RPG with an ATB gauge. Now, for those who don't know, ATB means active time battle. What happens here is that as you attack and as you dodge and do your moves, you fill up these meters. And in the demo, you have two of them. When you fill up the meters, you can do a special ability or you can do magic, and you can combine them as well. So you can do some attacks. If you have two ATB bars, you can do one of Cloud's special moves, physical moves with the sword, and then you can do like a magic attack as well. So it's pretty cool to mix and match, combine, stagger your enemies, and kind of get into into it. And that's what this system has kind of done. They kind of pulled from different games, like I would say Kingdom Hearts and Secret of Mana and some of the other action RPGs in Square Enix's past, and kind of put together a new layer on top of it. It's really in depth. I do like the new staggering system that's in the game. I do like how limits work as well. Those are also back once you reach a certain point, hitting them up with cross slash and stuff like that. So it's a very good system and I do like it. I do feel that there is just a little bit, I wouldn't say sluggishness in controls, but the dodging takes a little bit of time to get used to. I don't think you have invincibility frames, so if you dodge and an enemy hits you with like a missile or something like that, you're still gonna get hit even though you're in the dodge animation. So no invincibility frames on the dodge, which does take a little bit of time to get used to, but then also the block gets time to get used to, right? Because in RPGs, usually you just pick, like, if it's a turn-based RPG, you just pick like the block button. If it's an action RPG, you have block, but so many people don't use it. So I know I was struggling just a little bit, hey, knowing when to kind of dodge and how that works, or more like knowing exactly how the dodge works compared to knowing when to block the attack. Because if it's an area attack, you want to just make sure that you just block it because your dodge doesn't have any invincibility frames, so it doesn't matter at the end of the day. So getting used to the battle system is going to be something that's going to be very fun. And in this demo, you can play as two characters. You can play as Cloud, of course, and then you can also play as Barret, who's a long-range specialist. And believe it or not, the gameplay varies up quite differently between the two. When you're Barret, obviously having a machine gun that shoots from distance, you can reach enemies that you wouldn't have been able to reach before, and that's going to be very important. It intertwines into gameplay because there's simply some enemies that Cloud just can't reach. He doesn't have his blade beam yet, or he doesn't have the range to compete with some of these enemies, so you need to switch over to Barret and get the job done there. But what they've added in is they've added in a system to where you can at any point bring up a menu and also give commands to the AI, right? So if you're using Barret and you want Cloud to do something, you can pull up a command window and tell Cloud to do something. Same goes for Barret. If you're Cloud and you want to tell Barret to do something like heal or use his attack, you can pull up that window and do it. The only thing is sometimes knowing exactly when to, because you can't always put in a command that you want at any point if they're in the middle of something. So you kind of have to be like, oh snap, you know, like this is going pretty crazy right now. You gotta wait till you have that opportunity when the AI isn't doing something. But overall, I got used to it. I got my butt kicked by the boss. You know, I had to use multiple different items and everything, and it's a completely different experience from the original Final Fantasy VII, but I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. The boss gameplay on there was really good. It really changed up the original fight. It's not just the same thing, and you have to really use all of your abilities and limits, and it really feels like a big in-depth boss battle. And that's just the first one, all right? The Mako reactor, that's just the first one. This game probably has all sorts of twists and turns and crazy boss battles that just completely change the flow of the original game because of the new system. So the gameplay is really good. It's fun, it's in-depth, it's action, it's just great. They did a great job with it, and I'm very pleased with Final Fantasy VII Remake in terms of the gameplay. Now, let's go ahead and get into some little gripes that I have with the game. Once again, the dodging, no invincibility frames, are very small invincibility. I would have liked them to kind of change that up just a bit. I mean, I don't like dodging, then you still just get hit with something. So that's the only thing that I was just kind of like, on. And I'll be honest here, guys, I'm not a huge fan. Even though this game is amazing, I'm not a huge fan of the splitting the game up. I mean, it's very apparent with this game in terms of what they're going to be doing and what it seems like. We're starting to get some previews, right? Red 13, he's not going to be in the first part there, so that's very unfortunate. This game is going to be split up, and I don't want to have to wait for the next story within Final Fantasy VII, right? I already know the story, and yes, there's going to be a lot of added stuff in here. Yes, there's a lot of small touches and details that's going to make the game really good. Don't get me wrong, I'm very excited for that, but honestly, I'm not a huge fan of splitting the game up, even with the level of detail and graphics that they have. I understand the whole point beyond it, right? Like, I understand why or what they're doing. That doesn't mean I have to like exactly that. And I think sometimes people can't separate the two. I don't like what they're doing there, but I understand it. But I would hope that this doesn't become a norm for older RPGs. I'm guessing this is a special case with Final Fantasy VII Remake, since they've taken so long to get this game out and the type of game it is in the position and history of gaming and Square Enix. So I hope it doesn't become a norm. but at the same time, like, I don't like it because I don't want to have to split up the game into so many parts, maybe 3 parts plus $60 a pop, but it is what it is on that end, guys. But outside of that, that's pretty much my only gripe or so. The camera can get a little bit iffy at times when I was playing the demo, but I had multiple people tell me that you can change the camera options, so I don't think it's going to be too bad of a problem. And the camera was fine 99% of the time. There was just like one little part with Barrett where the camera got kind of wonky and stuff, but outside of that, everything is cool there. Now let's go ahead and get into the last part here, and that's my hype level. Where is my hype level? This is something new that I'm doing in terms of my previews for games, and my hype level out of a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, my hype level for this game is a 9. It's very high. I am really excited for it. It's a 9 on the hype level. The only reason why it's not a 10 is because the game isn't 100% complete, right? The game isn't all of the parts. It's going to be, oh, well, where we stop. We don't get all the certain characters that we wanted. So my hype is dispersed across multiple different games that I know that I'm going to have to buy in the future, and not just all the whole experience there. If it was all there, then it would be at 10.5 to 11 or 12. It would break the meter, right? But unfortunately, that's the only thing that's kind of holding me back just a little bit on this one, because my boy Red 13 isn't going to be playable in the first episode. That's very horrible. I don't like that. I don't like it at all, but it is what it is. The game is still really good. I'm still hyped up for it. 9 is a very high score for my hype level. Not my actual score for the game, guys, because obviously it's just the demo, so not my actual score, but just my hype for the game. 9, very good. So those are my thoughts on Final Fantasy VII Remake, the demo. If you guys want, once again, check out my full gameplay. It's up on the channel. You guys can do that, and you guys can go download the demo right now, guys. You can go download it. It's available for everyone, and you can have some fun. Go grab a Butterfinger whenever they come out too. No, I'm just joking on that one. So what do you guys think about the Final Fantasy VII Remake demo? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, guys, that wraps it up for this video here. Check out the link in the description below. We've got Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on there. Also, make sure you comment, like, and subscribe, and share the video if you can. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll catch you for the next one. Peace.